Awesome. Okay, so for anyone who's watching right now, thank you guys so much for joining, and thank you for Waverly Outcure for putting on this wonderful webinar. My name is Destiny. I'm NephCure's content marketing manager, and I'm here with Kathy Madrazo, who's going to kind of introduce herself, and we're going to go through the BIGKiDs Study that Samson Lab puts, this kind of, basic research study. Or not even, well, yeah, it's a research study. So I will let Kathy explain that more.
Well, thank you. I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for the invitation. As you said, my name is Catherine Madrazo. I am a medical doctor from Mexico. And after graduating, I pursued a master's in clinical research here in Boston. And after graduation, I joined the Samson Lab, where my role is to be the clinical research coordinator for the BIGKiDs Study, which means basically handling the day-to-day activities and reaching out to patients and answering patients' questions from the website and coordinating with families the sample collection. That's me.
Thank you for the introduction. I really appreciate you kind of diving in there. Could you kind of describe more of what the BIGKiDs Study is, just kind of like a general overview?
Sure. So the BIGKiDs Study, it means the biobank to eliminate the genomic of kidney disease. And what we're trying to do is to discover the genomic cause of kidney and urinary tract disorders in children, specifically in those who have nephrotic syndrome. And our aim is to better understand what is happening and why and how the disease progresses. And we're trying to find a way to prevent and treat or even cure the disease in the future. But first of all, what is a biobank? And a biobank is like a library where we store samples and information from the patients and their families. And we store what is called a biosample, which could be like blood or saliva, a buccal swab, urine from patients and their families, as well as their information. That is what basically the BIGKiDs Study is.
Awesome. Thank you for describing that and kind of giving an overview. And to kind of lead into that, I know you mentioned kind of like the general demographic of the study, but who exactly can join the BIGKiDs Study and what makes them eligible?
Yeah, that is an excellent question. Anyone who has had or has nephrotic syndrome diagnosed and their families is invited to participate. It does not matter if they're in Boston or in Massachusetts. We invite to participate every single patient in the country or abroad. And it doesn't matter if they are having right now an active disease or if they are being treated, if they had the diagnosis in their childhood but not anymore. Everyone with nephrotic syndrome history is invited to participate.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful information, I'm sure. And I guess my follow-up question would be kind of how do you enroll in the BIGKiDs Study and kind of explain maybe what happens after they enroll? So,
Of course.
if we were to do that.
So to enroll in the BIGKiDs Study, if you are a patient from Boston Children's Hospital, we would invite to participate every single patient with a diagnosis. But if you're not from Boston or Boston Children's Hospital, you can send us an email, and what we would do is send you more information, like what is the study about, informed consent, and we will follow up with you. If after reading all this information, you decide that the BIGKiDs Study is for you, and that you're still interested, then we can schedule what it's called like a discussion over phone or over Zoom. And this is important for me to go with you about the risks, the benefits, the purpose of the study. And only after these, we can sign the informed consent. We can do it virtually in our platform, either if you are from Boston Children's Hospital or not. And it takes around 20 minutes to do it, the whole conversation and signing the consent. After this consent is done, we can coordinate the sample recollection to your address, shipping to your address. And yeah, that's basically what it is.
Amazing. Thank you. And to kind of give people a bigger perspective on the study itself, why should people participate in the research, and specifically participate in the Big Kids Study?
Oh, sure. I guess that I'm very happy to live in an area where there are a lot of studies available for patients and for families, and the families can choose one of the studies that best suit their possibilities. And even though that you can participate in the BIGKiDs study at the same time that you're participating in any other studies, my personal opinion is that joining the BIGKiDs study, what we're trying to do is to give the families an answer of what is happening to their children, why and what, and at the end to give them an accurate diagnosis for their children, and in the future a possibility to have a targeted treatment for them. So this is going to take time, and we're making advances thanks to all the families that have enrolled in the BIGKiDs study. But this study is definitely for those patients who want to contribute to science and want to work to something greater than themselves, and also who want to join a community of researchers and want to make a team with them and find these discoveries together.
Amazing. Thank you for explaining that as well, because I'm sure many patients and their families would enjoy, more feeling comforted by the idea of, advancing research and being able to do that for their community. But to kind of lead into my next question, how can patients and their families learn more about this study?
Oh, sure. So we have social media, and our website is samsonlab.org, or you can find us as Samson Lab in Facebook and X, Instagram. You can also send me an email contacting me directly through bigkids.bikebank@harvardchildrens.harvard.edu. And you can also submit a question through our website, and I will answer it directly.
Amazing. Thank you. And I guess my last question, to kind of put us off on a good note, is why are research studies like this so important for patients and kind of advancing research?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I think that studies like these that try to go through the very, very beginning of what the disease is about and try to figure out what is happening is very important to understand the disease. And only when we know what is happening in depth, we could think about specific treatments or diagnosis tools that can help prevent or cure the disease in these children in the future. So I think that getting involved in research also as an added bonus makes you part of a community of people that is going through the same process. And in my experience, that is also beneficial for families and their patients and the children.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you taking the time to do this whole webinar and explaining the BIGKiDs study. So I really do appreciate it. I'll leave a few minutes so we can put some links in the chat for people to be able to, access them if they're here. But I think an easy way we can do this is if you could maybe drop your email in the chat as well so people can contact you. That way, if people have questions or if they need more information, they can easily just send you an email. But thank you so much again. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate your guys' time being able to explain this and explaining how this research, affects the whole of nephrotic syndrome and being able to, uncover some better treatments for kids with, diagnosed with RKD as well. But I will also put this link in the chat for the BIGKiDs study just to have people learn more and get information. But I appreciate everybody who's tuning in or who will tune in later. But thank you guys so much.